This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
Will.
And this is PunchNpie. You can call me Jordan.
And today is Tuber Tuesday, but before we get into it, let's talk about the YouTuber down below me, not Will, the other one.
Down there.
Oh, me.
Yeah,
me.
you.
Oh,
Pat you on the head down there. Yeah.
Channel's called PunchNpie. My name is Jordan. I have a channel that's mostly video games. I'd say it's 95% video games, and then the other is like tech videos, teardowns, repairs, reviews. I do a lot of cheap Chinese Switch Pro controller reviews because I'm a masochist, I guess, and I love buying crappy controllers. So,
and if you guys are interested, as I've said before, in a nice keyboard for your Switch, check out his video on that. I'm going to plug this video one more time because I thought it was a really good review of a Chinese keyboard for the Switch. So.
Oh, and a shot of my wife throwing something at my head. We had to do that take like 7 times too. I got with that thing a lot to get that right.
So if you ever wanted a channel that does a ton of tech stuff for various consoles, but mostly the Switch lately, go check out PunchNpie's channel. That'd be youtube.com/PUNCHNPIE. All right. Today for Tuber Tuesday, we're covering HARD4GAMES. I believe a fellow Michigander, unless he's moved. Not 100% sure on that. I can cut this later if we after that up. So some YouTube stats on this channel. 77.3 thousand subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. That's like 140 times what we have, and then at least 50 something odd times what Mr. PunchNpie's got, if I do my math correctly in my head here. I'm not an accountant, can't do it off the top of my head. Let's see here.
It's 1 million times greater.
Yeah, I did that, messed that up really bad the one time. I think it was Metal Jesus Rocks. I said he had like 700,000 times that we had.
He totally did.
And he had like 700,000. I was like, wait, we have more than one subscriber. Okay, so they joined YouTube on July 6, 2009. The channel currently has 10,148,704 views on the date of this video being recorded. Keep that in mind, because if it's higher when this video releases, that's why. Okay. All right, so what his description of his channel says is, we are known for exploring rare systems like the Nintendo 64 disk drive, that's the N64DD, Zelda beta questing, and all kinds of other beta questing to add to that, game reviews, and live streams, which I don't think I've ever caught one of their live streams, but I know they do them quite often, or at least they used to do them quite often. Lately, he's been doing a lot of these like really development type units that he's been reviewing, like say the in Spider-Man 4, there you go. That's where I remembered that from. Unreleased Panasonic Jungle was a really interesting video, but before we get into that, what is HARD4GAMES known for? Beta questing, which we already said, reviewing and testing old tech like the N64DD, attempting to run games and software on systems they weren't designed for, which they recently did with, they tried to run a Game Boy Advance cart, which was one of those movie, like either SpongeBob or Shrek. It was Shrek.
It was Shrek.
On like a non-standard GBA like board, I think is what it was. It was like some kind of a development board for the GBA. That was pretty cool. And then the last thing they're known for is being charming gentlemen in the gaming space on YouTube. So
Charming gentlemen.
Charming gentlemen. I try to change up how I compliment these YouTubers as I do these channels. So they're going to be charming gentlemen, which I actually sincerely believe. All right. So what was their first or oldest video still on their channel? Let's see here. Oldest video. It is NBA Jam Review Part 1 of 3.
Love that game.
It was released on July 7th, 2009, so right about the time they started their channel. Yeah, day after they started their channel. And it currently has about 14,764 views at the time of this video. You can see it in there.
This is what inspired them to get into YouTube, was NBA Jam. Just pointing that out.
Really?
Well, it must be. That's their first video. How can we change the world today?
I just like how they're all drinking 40s.
Yeah. But this is part 1 of 3. This is a 3-part series.
Mm-hmm. It was. That is absolutely correct. So these videos are pretty good. They're just like literally them playing NBA Jam and remembering it and drinking and having fun. So
nostalgia. Oh my gosh.
So What do you think their most popular video is? I'm pretty positive.
You mentioned it in the last video.
Yeah.
Their most
Spider-Man 4 unreleased footage. So it says unreleased Spider-Man 4 game found canceled. SM4 movie tie-in. So Spider-Man 4 movie tie-in. This game was meant to be released with the fourth movie that never came out. Probably because they couldn't pay Tobey Maguire enough money to make a fourth Spider-Man movie. Anyways, no, I'm just
That
kidding.
is not what happened.
I know.
I can tell you what happened if you want me to.
Sure, go ahead. Throw it in there.
Oh, essentially, he had a deadline. What's the director of that movie?
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. He had a deadline, and he couldn't meet it without sacrificing a good quality script because he didn't want a repeat of the third movie where there's too many villains and it was too jam-packed. Because actually there's some meddling in that film too where they forced Venom into it and he didn't know how to handle Venom, and you can tell because it doesn't make any sense in that movie. But he wanted to have that fourth movie actually make sense, couldn't make it on time. So he's like, you know what, screw it. You can just make it like a new trilogy. And that's what they're like, fine, we'll do that. They have like the rights with Marvel is like every time if they switched actors or if they switched directors or something like that, they had to restart the trilogy or restart the series from the origin story, which is why Amazing Spider-Man, instead of just like having him pick up later in life, is essentially a retread of the original movie.
Interesting.
That's such a weird like piece of the contract is like they have to keep rebooting Spider-Man every time.
That's why Marvel didn't have to do it, but they were able to work around it because they introduced him in the Avengers first. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Sam Raimi is also from Michigan, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's from Bloomfield Hills.
So, Mr. Hard4GAMES channel, if you want somebody to help you cover Spider-Man some more, get Will on there. And
yes.
Anyway,
I'll bring up some random comic book knowledge. Would be wonderful.
You need to do a collab with Billy. All right. Anyways, I'm going to digress. 411,000 views, a little over that, and it was released on November 30th, 2019. So it's a very recent video, is their most popular video, which is always good news for a channel because it means your channel has not hit a plateau or has already peaked, right? You want some of your more recent videos to be some of your most popular videos. It always works in your favor.
In the first game, but maybe I didn't. I don't remember now.
It looks like it's meant to be. Is it a Wii? It must be a Wii game. It must have been a Wii.
It was game. It was a Wii game. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched part of this video and I must have gotten distracted because I don't remember watching it at this point. I've watched a lot of their videos, but apparently not this one. Not well, anyways. I could have watched this much better as a good preparation, like I should have. Oh well, sorry guys.
I cheated. I didn't watch it naturally. I watched it this morning, because of the notes. So
there you go. So what do we like about this channel? And actually, before I get into that, I discovered these guys through their collaboration with Metal Jesus Rocks when they brought the N64 DD knowledge to him to help him try and troubleshoot the N64 DD that he had. And I've been a subscriber. Don't believe the fact that the red button is down there. I am subscribed on our actual channel, not on this unknown fake, anonymous browser I'm using right now.
On our second channel.
But anyways, so I am subscribed to these guys. I've been subscribed to them since I watched that Metal Jesus video. So kudos to Metal Jesus for introducing me to Hard4GAMES. I really enjoy these guys. They're funny. They cover things that I'm interested in, which is like, unknown or unreleased tech and that kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. So that's one of the things I really love about this channel. How about you guys?
I'll PunchNpie go first.
Okay. What's most impressive is their video topics and how they're able to curate the information or get their hands on some of the hardware. Like as an example, the Spider-Man one, they were playing an unreleased Spider-Man game on a Wii dev kit because that was the only way to launch the game. And they just seem to get their hands on cool stuff to talk about. I'm almost jealous. I want to know where they're finding it.
I'm just going to show up at their house like, hey, where are you getting this tech, guys?
I found you.
You might have found this tech, but I found you.
I also want to know where their name came from. Is it literal like HARD4GAMES? Like they're hard for games?
Didn't you listen to the theme song? We're hard for games.
No, but that answers that question.
Yeah.
How about you, Will?
I think I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like my favorite part about this channel is just video game history and like discovering like these weird, like I don't know, factoids. Like there's a Spider-Man game and you can actually play it. So it was built enough that there was a demo, or just the weirdness that are some of the consoles that they go over. And anyone can review a game, so it's nice when you actually someone is actually diving into, lack of a better term, just the history of video games, history of consoles, and just random things that people don't necessarily know about or would be exposed to, because who actually is able to get their hands on something like an unreleased game or a really rare console? Like most people will never get to see that. So it's really awesome that there's a channel that actually goes through and reviews them.
Absolutely. So what are some things about Hard4Games that you guys think they might be able to improve upon?
I think that their icon should be more descriptive of what is going on with their name. So it should be...
now wait a second. I think that the joystick is a really good representation of their name.
I think it should be more, explicit of a certain...
It's cerebral.
Yeah, certain rod-shaped item playing video games.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, more people are going to click on that.
Yeah, but YouTube's going to kill the channel if they do that.
After we're done recording tonight, I'll design it and send it to them and see if they like it.
I think they'll block you. Why are you sending us this picture?
I worked really hard on it.
Now, Will, do you like their banner?
I hate their banner. So the thing is, sorry, that's not totally true. I like the fact that it actually describes what they do. So I know that's like one of my biggest pet peeves for almost every channel that we review, is that it's a very beautiful banner, though it doesn't describe at all what the channel's about. You can look at this banner and know exactly what they do, which I really appreciate. I do not like the color scheme though, so I don't know if it's just me, but just the way that they have it laid out in this particular color scheme, and also like the faded blue pictures. I don't know. It doesn't mesh well for my eyes. I know it might just be me.
I do think there's something there with the white font being a little harder to read with that light blue. It's all there, but I agree. It's a little hard to read.
It's not something that's going to turn me off from the channel, obviously, because it didn't. But just something that I noticed every time I click on it is like, not my favorite color scheme. Not the way that they've done it.
Hey, look, awesome channels. I got Gamester81. We have yet to cover him. We need to do that sometime. Just a reminder to myself.
Focus, Chris.
All right. I think some of their thumbnails are a little hard to read or understand what's going on. Like Nintendo Laserdisc. That Laserdisc is kind of hard to read. All I see is the Mario, really, with the facelift going on and the disc in the corner. And I like that they have the Hard4Games logo in the corner here on every video. It's really easy to distinguish their videos from other people's videos.
Yes.
But I think that's a more recent thing. And then I also think that the font's just a little hard to read. It's just a little too much going on in the font.
Yep. Yeah, when I first saw that video, I thought it was going over like Mario on the 64, because you can like change his face. I think
the facelift,
or that might just be the DS version. I can't remember now.
No, that was the 64 version. Yeah,
okay.
The start screen. You could morph his face around.
I think they're good
That's
thumbnails. I just think their descriptions are a little hard to read. Like the font on them is a little hard to read.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. It's like usually they say your thumbnail is the most important part of publishing a video, and it's either amazing that they've gone this big with thumbnails that are hard to interpret, or they should be theoretically bigger because their thumbnails are hard to interpret.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them are really good, like the Zelda 64 Dawn and Dusk.
Yeah, I can read that one.
It reads really well, but it also kind of blends in. It's kind of like one of those really good placed fonts where you can still read it even though it kind of blends in. And then like this one with the 64DD and Zelda behind it, it's like there's no words on the screen. You have to read the title to figure out what's going on here. Unless you know what the 64DD is, and then you know what this is. But most people that are already subscribed know what the 64DD is, whereas people that are not subscribed may have no idea that the 64DD even exists. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know what the 64DD is, you might not even search for this channel in the first place. I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword to do that thumbnail that way. I also like the fact that they've done some old VCR tapes, and I think they should do a couple more of those because that was cool. I haven't seen one of those in a long time because they did that. I think it was the Jaguar. Okay, they did that one. But they've been remastering old VHS tapes, and I think that's a really cool project, and I hope they continue on with it. Like they did.
I did not know they did that.
I think they did DK64 or DK Country, Donkey Kong Country. I can't remember which one, but they did some remasters of those VHS tapes because they've got some good. I think a professional video terminal or whatever those are called, the PVTs, right?
Sure, I'll go with that. Sounds right.
It's like Sony PVT. They're like the CRTs, but they're the HD CRTs that came out in like the early 2000s.
Oh yes.
A professional video monitor, PVMs. That's what it is. PVMs. I'm sorry. Don't want to get this wrong because they'll get in the comment section. You guys got everything wrong. No.
Yeah.
I also like the fact there's a bunch of friends drinking and stuff, and I haven't seen that in a while. But obviously, social distancing probably preventing them from doing some of that stuff.
The alcohol will cleanse it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Right.
That's how it works. It worked down in Florida, so.
Yeah. Oh, you had to throw that one in there, didn't you?
Sorry.
Appropriate. I laughed that hard at that.
It was just, oh, sorry. You got to laugh about some of this stuff, or else you never laugh about anything, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I don't have a lot of other comments about what they're doing that could be improved. I just really enjoy this channel. More Shrek, obviously. More Shrek.
Yeah, always. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Oh, God.
Because will the Shrek video play on a Wide Boy 64 and GBA prototype? We have to know the answer.
This thing is like the concept. I don't know how people come up with this because, on paper, I would never want to watch that. But I always end up watching. I'm like, this is so fascinating.
Yeah.
And 60,500 other people already agreed with you, Will. Mm-hmm. He said this started as a meme on Twitter and he just rolled with it. That's why I think this guy is like so great, because he's just like, people send him these joke ideas and he's like, we'll do it. And he's like, I like at the end, he's like, I would show Shark Tale, but nobody wants Shark Tale.
That was a weird movie, but I did enjoy it.
So what are our predictions for this channel going forward? What do you guys got?
Well, if he improves his thumbnails, I think he's going to grow exponentially.
How about you, Jordan?
Because once you get into the content, it's from a video creator perspective, his shots are phenomenal. I'm just watching the way he frames himself and the way he, as we're watching this right here, the way he frames in what he's talking about with the crop effect. Then he creates a great product. So you're right. Probably better thumbnails. They'll probably explode.
I think I've thought about this for a while, and I think if he would do some more collabs in the future, like he did that Metal Jesus collab, I think he would see a lot more subscribers. Mm-hmm. Like, I think a great channel for him to collab with would be like Adam Korlick. I think that would be like a match made in heaven for a collaboration. And I'm not sure if they've done one before. Maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it. But these guys both cover like obscure tech, and it's just like obscure plus developmental tech would mesh so well, I think, as far as like a collaboration goes. So make it happen. Reach out to Adam, get him on the show, whether it's like, virtually or physically in the future. But that would be so fun to see you guys work together.
There's another channel, the Retro Future. I'm not sure if you're familiar or not, but he's out of the UK, but he does retro hardware and he does mods and repairs and some really interesting stuff. And it would be kind of cool if they collabed on like a custom build to run something that shouldn't run on that piece of hardware.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That'd be cool too. So my prediction is without an Adam Korlick collaboration, 100K by the end of the year. With an Adam Korlick collaboration, 102K by the end of the year. No, I'm just kidding. 150K. No. No, but I think these collaborations just help everybody because people will be exposed to both of their channels. They're both kind of the same audience. It would make sense for them to work together to try and build each other up. So it can only help. But I think if they hit 100K by the end of the year, that'd be great. So they're on their way. They've gained tons of subscribers. So anyways, HARD4GAMES, if you guys want to reach out to me and come on this podcast, you know where to find me on Twitter at CHRILLCAST. I'll be tagging you guys in this video. And more Shrek. As always, I'm Chris. Will, can you hear me, Will?
We lost Will.
Oh, we lost Will. Oh, no. Oh no, we actually
Hey, look at
lost
that.
him.
Now I'm like Will, where I have to move back and forth between the cameras.
I wondered if
So
I
how-
lost him.
I'll be Will.
All right,
I'm
you be Will. Ready? Oh, and you popped on the other. That is so fun. All right, I'll say I'm Chris. You say I'm Will, and then we'll sign it off with you. Ready? I'm Chris.
And I'm Will. And this is PunchNpie, Jordan.
And we will see you. And you say on the next Grillcast in his frame.
On the next Grillcast.